A trial on fire, Trump cries foul. The courtroom was a battleground, a stage set for high drama. The courtroom crackled with tension, every eye fixed on the unfolding drama. The air was thick with anticipation, as if everyone was holding their breath. Donald Trump, never one to mince words, lashed out at the trial. His voice, filled with indignation, reverberated through the room. He called it a political witch hunt, a blatant attempt to derail his political career. His accusations were sharp, aimed directly at his opponents. His voice boomed, echoing his fury. The walls seemed to shake with the force of his words, leaving no doubt about his feelings. The American people know this is a sham. Trump's frustration was palpable. He spoke with a conviction that resonated with his supporters. He couldn't believe he was on trial, especially after winning the election. It was a surreal moment, one that defied logic in his eyes. His eyes blazed with defiance, a fire that refused to be extinguished. He was determined to fight back, no matter the cost. This wasn't justice, it was a political assassination. The courtroom debates were fierce, each side unwilling to back down. The words witch hunt dripped with disdain. They were more than just words, they were a rallying cry for his base. They were a calculated attack designed to undermine the trial's legitimacy. Every statement was crafted to sway public opinion. Trump knew his supporters would rally behind him, fueled by his claims of persecution. The rallies grew louder, the chants more fervent, as his base stood firm in their belief. The prosecution's case, mountains of evidence. Assistant District Attorney Josh Steinglass stood firm. He argued that the evidence against Trump was overwhelming. This wasn't about politics, it was about upholding the law. Steinglass methodically laid out the prosecution's case. He presented witness testimony, financial records, and damning phone calls. The evidence, he argued, painted a clear picture of guilt. The prosecution's case was meticulous and relentless. They presented a mountain of evidence aiming to dismantle Trump's defense piece by piece. They were determined to hold him accountable regardless of his political stature. Judge Merchant, the law is blind. This phrase, often repeated, underscores the principle that justice should be impartial and unbiased. Judge Juan Merchan presided over the trial with an air of quiet authority. His demeanor was calm and composed, reflecting his deep commitment to the principles of justice. He acknowledged the intense public scrutiny surrounding the case, but remained steadfast. The courtroom was filled with media and public observers, all eager to witness the proceedings. The law, he stressed, applied equally to everyone. No one was above the law, and everyone deserved a fair trial, regardless of their status or influence. Merchant's voice was measured and calm, a stark contrast to the charged atmosphere of the courtroom. His words carried weight, resonating with those present. He emphasized the importance of a fair trial, free from political influence. The integrity of the judicial process was paramount, and he was determined to uphold it. His rulings were even-handed, demonstrating a commitment to justice. Each decision was made with careful consideration, ensuring that the law was applied fairly. He would not be swayed by public opinion or political pressure. The clamor outside the courtroom did not affect his judgment. Judge Merchant was the embodiment of the law's impartiality. His dedication to justice and fairness was evident in every aspect of his conduct, making him a true symbol of the blindfolded Lady of Justice. Section 4. The sentence, no jail time, but. The courtroom held its breath as Judge Merchant announced the sentence. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation, every eye fixed on the judge. Donald Trump received an unconditional discharge. The words echoed through the room, leaving many in shock. No jail time, no fines. The decision was clear and final, but it was still a conviction. The gavel struck, sealing the verdict. The lack of jail time was a victory for Trump's legal team. They celebrated the outcome, knowing it could have been much worse. But the conviction itself was a blow. Trump's face showed a mix of relief and disappointment. It tarnished his image and cast a long shadow over his presidency. The conviction would be a permanent mark on his record. Trump was free to walk out of the courtroom, but the stain of the conviction remained. He exited with a heavy heart, knowing the battle was not truly over. The legal battle was over, but the political war was far from finished. His supporters rallied behind him, but the opposition was equally determined. Outside the courtroom, the media frenzy continued. Supporters and protesters clashed, each side vocal about their stance. Analysts and commentators dissected the case, debating its implications for Trump's future. The conviction was a pivotal moment, one that would shape the political landscape for years to come. Section 5, Trump's next move, appeal and beyond. Donald Trump wasted no time. He immediately vowed to appeal the conviction. His legal team was already preparing their arguments, determined to clear his name. The appeal process would be long and arduous, but Trump was prepared for a fight. He saw it as an opportunity to expose the witch hunt for what it truly was. The appeal would keep the case alive, fueling the flames of controversy. It would be a constant distraction, casting a shadow over Trump's second term. Section 6, the political battlefield, a nation divided. The trial and its aftermath exposed the deep divisions within American society. Trump's supporters saw him as a victim targeted by a corrupt establishment. His detractors celebrated the conviction, seeing it as a victory for justice. The nation watched as the drama unfolded, their opinions polarized. The trial became a political football, kicking off a new wave of anger and resentment. The political battlefield was drawn. Trump's trial was just the opening salvo in what promised to be a long and bitter war for the soul of America.